We're not asking him or anybody else to be pro-life or pro-choice or whatever. We're just asking them to do their job, to allow the legislation to go forward.
Concerned resident Tim Rohr is referring to Committee on Health Chair Senator Dennis Rodriguez Jr. and other members of the legislature regarding proper action on abortion regulation legislation. He hopes similar bills will see its day on session floor without being totally amended to a point where the intended legislation is basically destroyed. Someone who can speak of that nature is Governor Eddie Calvo, who earlier this year introduced Bill 52, or the Women's Reproductive Health Information Act, which was drastically amended. In his address this morning, Governor Calvo noted how several bills he introduced aimed at reducing abortion on the island have been stalled in the legislature like no other measure has.
Senators and members of the Rules Committee, it is beyond me how zoning bills get to the front of the agenda, and yet legislation protecting the lives of innocent children have languished for months and years. I beg of you to prioritize your time. And every day that goes by without your action is another day where another child's life is at risk.
Calvo pleaded with senators to pass his bills along with Senator Rodriguez's into law when they head into session next week. Calvo's other related bill, titled the Unborn Child Protection Act, is still waiting on opinion from the Attorney General before it moves forward with lawmakers. Rodriguez has since requested for them to be put back into his committee and will push for its original version. Like Governor Calvo, he hopes Bill 323 will be heard on session floor as well.
I cannot speak for anybody else in the legislature. I can only speak for myself. And in any legislation that I put forward, I want to make sure that we handle it from beginning to end. And there's no different from these legislation that I'm pushing through with Bill 323.
Rohr admits every committee has the right to amend bills, but doesn't want action where language is completely ignored and replaced entirely and is passed off as the same exact bill to occur again. He hopes senators will follow their own rules and process, and when it goes on session floor, that it resembles the bill that was published for the community. Committee on Rules Chair Senator Rory Respicio is currently off island, but says a Rules meeting will be held on Friday, at which the session agenda for next week will be adopted. Reporting for Guam's News Network, I'm Ken Quintaniza.